need a sales process, especially if you're in a wholesaling
Yeah.
business.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
I 100% believe in that. We used to say in our company, simple is scalable. But let's talk about that process. What are some of the things that maybe a newer investor needs to be implementing or be thinking about?
Absolutely. So let's say that you're in real estate wholesaling, for
Hmm.
example, and you're on the acquisition end. You need a sales process that's repeatable. So, like every single call with the seller should basically be identical. There's obviously going to be
Hmm.
different parts of the call where, like, the problems are going to be different, the solutions might be different,
Right.
but every single call essentially should be almost identical where like you're taking them through the same experience on every
Yeah.
single call, and it's giving you a cadence because I feel like when a lot of people don't
Mhm.
have that, they're basically kind of like shooting from
Yeah.
their hip, and it's not, it's like it gets very
Mhm.
unorganized
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? We don't want to be recreating the wheel every single time we're doing this, right? Trying to figure out a whole new path. So, okay. So kind of like can you really break that down a little bit? Like what are some of those just basic broad steps that like if I wanted to write down and take notes that I should be following?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, on every single call, I feel like in a sales process, you need at least a
Hmm.
intro where you're gonna kind of vet
Yeah.
them up front, make sure that you're actually talking to the
Hmm.
right person. You're speaking with someone that, especially in acquisitions, is a real seller that wants to kind of
Yeah.
sell right now. And then once you get them through the vetting stage, for me, I make sure that they're also a decision maker. They're the only decision maker that needs to be here for the
Hmm.
call, and then make sure that if we do come to terms on numbers, we're going to start the process
Hmm.
right now. And then from there, the next part of the framework is an upfront agreement. So that's kind of basically just stating like this is how this call is going to go. So however your guys' process is, once you kind of identify
Yeah.
the process, just basically write that out and tell the seller like this is the way our process works. This is how this call is going to go. For us, it's we're going to ask you questions, get you an
Hmm.
offer, sign a contract, send it over to title. This is how you're going to get paid. And for us, it's kind of just setting the stage for how the call is going to go. And what that does, the upfront agreement, is it gives you control of the call and it makes it so that you're in the driver's seat and the seller's not driving you, kind of thing.
I love that. So what are maybe some of the objections that you get when you're trying to do this with sellers? Is there any places where you get frequent pushback?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, there's gonna be pushback with a lot of the sellers. Sometimes it might just be that they're not ready to sign
Hmm.
paperwork right now. Sometimes it's just like maybe for me, if they're not the only decision maker and someone else has to be there, I
Okay.
reschedule the call. Sometimes that's the biggest pushback, and then other times it's just like I'm looking at their price. They want 500K. The house is worth
Yeah.
200K. And then when that's still a little bit of pushback. I'm kind of just trying to see like, are you a real
Hmm.
seller? And then I'll still take them through the process if I identify that they're
Right.
actually
Yeah, I
genuine.
agree with that. I think we want to, to me, the success I had is I want to figure out what their motivation is. Like, why do you want to sell? Like in my mind, I'm trying to think of what is the thing that's keeping them up at night. If this is keeping them up, why? Like, what is their reason for needing to sell? And then if we can establish that, then we can figure out the pricing thing after, right? How badly do they need to sell? Sometimes I'll ask people, hey man, Joey, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how quick do you need to move this thing? 10 being like today, just give me a number, just so.
And then they're like
Yeah,
two, and
cool.
you're
Hey, listen, I
like,
may not be the right solution for you. I really specialize in, working with people who need a fast, quick, easy solution. Sounds like you have a lot of time on your hands and you're not really in a hurry, something like, make them,
and then that's how you're
yeah,
pushing it out
push it
to
back to
them.
them and make them sell me on, no, no, I really do. Anyway, something like that.